Welcome to Talk FCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. And this right here is a bonus video for you today, and it's all about the current situation surrounding Neymar Jr. and Barcelona, and effectively, of course, Paris Saint-Germain. And in today's video, we are going to be going over the very latest with regards to Neymar and what is happening right now. Is he going to be coming? Is he not going to be coming? We are discussing the latest reports, because I have to say, there have been some developments today. There have been some really important developments which do take on some interesting twists as we go further into this saga. And of course, some people are for Neymar, some people are against Neymar, some people right now are absolutely sick of the sight of this story, and I can understand that. If you don't want to watch this video, it's no problem at all. That's why here, this is a bonus video. But for those interested, I want to keep you updated because, of course, this is a massive situation. And we start right here with a really curious story surrounding Neymar and the interview that I told you would be aired today from UOL Media. Because if you have watched my previous videos, you would know that today we are expecting an interview with Neymar with a Brazilian news outlet, basically talking about a number of topics, about himself, about his personal life, about Brazil, about his future. That was supposed to air on Brazilian TV today, but it never happened. It never ever came. And earlier on today, UOL came out and they said, look, the material that we had for that Neymar interview, all of the data that we had ready to air today, it's gone. It's disappeared. It has vanished into thin air. We don't have anything right now on that Neymar interview. They even went as far to say they believe there it could have been stolen. The data there to that interview simply went missing. Where did it go? Who has taken that particular Neymar interview? And what's even more intriguing, what was said during that interview today? Because that really is this summer in a nutshell. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows when it's going to happen? And even the broadcasters, even the news outlets, even they are encountering right now things that we have never seen before. This is absolutely crazy. And that's just another example there of what's going on right now, because that certainly creates a lot more mystery surrounding this transfer. But of course, we do move on to the fact that today, Neymar did indeed turn up to training with Paris Saint-Germain. He returned there as expected. He was expected to go back at some point. Today was that day. And I say really that he returned to training. What he did really was go in, he went to the gym for a bit, he did a bit of workout, and therefore he's back in Paris right now. But it was hardly there a big rosy return for Neymar. He simply went back into his place of work. And the club right now are really concerned. He's certainly not going to be playing in their pre-season friendly, which is going to be taking place tomorrow against Dinamo Dresden. That is not going to be somewhere where Neymar is going to be, and they're also very concerned right now that he's not even going to be going on their tour of Asia, which of course are PSG. Neymar, a very marketable player. That is certainly a concern to them right now. But on his return to Paris, also, like I mentioned yesterday, a meeting was scheduled between Neymar and the sporting director of Paris Saint-Germain, Leonardo, and that meeting did indeed take place today. And according to multiple reports, that meeting right there, that was a pretty frosty affair, and certainly no love lost there between Neymar, the PSG hierarchy. Things right now are not sweet. They're not going well at all. And according to UOL in Brazil, like I say, they are usually a reliable outlet when they can keep their information to hand when it's not gone missing. They say right here today that Neymar, once again, in this meeting, he made it clear. He wants to leave Paris Saint-Germain this summer, and that was actually there today, the first time he'd really expressed that face to face. Before that, it'd been by telephone, by email, things like that. But right here today, he sat down face to face there with Leonardo and said, look, I want to leave. But I want to make it very clear right now that PSG, they're not just going to roll over, because whilst Neymar wants out, PSG, they're not going to make it easy for him. They're not going to make it easy for him, and they're certainly not going to make it easy for Barcelona, because ESPN say that Leonardo there, the sporting director, responded really to that claim by Neymar that he does want to leave, and he basically went on there, Leonardo, just to warn Neymar about what he was getting himself into, the road that he was taking himself now, because he mentioned Hatem Ben Arfa, a player there who enjoyed a really bad spell at Paris Saint-Germain because of attitude problems. It didn't go well for him. He didn't really play, and he was simply cast aside. And he also mentioned there, Leonardo, Adrien Rabiot, who was completely disregarded there from the Paris Saint-Germain first team setup. He didn't play a single minute of football really in 2019 after he refused to sign a new contract with the club. So certainly there, PSG are not going to take any messing. But I also want to point out here, this situation is very different from those two mentioned there, because this Neymar situation right now is different for me me than anything we've ever seen. Barcelona, it's the biggest deal we could ever expect to do, and for Paris Saint-Germain, they have got serious problem on their hands right now. Because from their point of view, yes, technically, they could go and freeze Neymar out, they could punish him, they could fine him, they could really force him to stay, and force him there to stay in a place he was very unhappy. But at the end of the day, this is a guy right now, they're going to be paying nearly 800,000 euros every single week that he's there. That's the amount of money that Neymar is earning, and that's just in wages, not including bonuses, things like that. PSG are paying this guy big money, and if he's not happy, what is the point in doing that? This is a team right here that Nasser Al-Khelaifi wants to build to challenge and win the Champions League. He wants every single player there pulling in the same direction, having that good harmony, that good togetherness, and really playing for the badge. He doesn't want players and attitudes like Neymar currently has at the club. So quite simply, PSG know that if Neymar doesn't want to be there, they have to really play ball in some capacity. They're not going to make it easy, but they also have to accept they are going to have to do a deal if they can get a deal here that suits all parties. But this, for me, is when it gets really tricky for Barcelona, because yes, Neymar wants to leave. Barcelona definitely want Neymar to return this summer, but as was illustrated this afternoon by Cat Radio, who are often one of the most reliable sources when it comes to Barcelona, they say there the really tricky part comes in the negotiations, because those negotiations, according to Cat Radio, are going to be led by President Bartomeu himself. He is going to meet face to face, and they're going to actually take this on head to head with PSG's president Nasser Al-Khelaifi. Those two really thrashing it out there in person. That's the way the deal is going to go down. But the problem is, Barcelona want to exchange players as part of the deal, whereas Paris Saint-Germain are only interested right now in the money. And that, for me, is the big sticking point. Because right from the very start, I've made it very clear from the beginning, 222 million, any sort of transfer fee around that number there, anything more, Barcelona, no chance. No chance. Not a single chance there we are going to be able to pay anything close to that amount after paying 120 million already for Antoine Griezmann. We simply do not have that kind of money. What we do have, though, is a number of key players, a number of high-profile names on big wages who could be added to the deal to get Neymar back. That's the only way that we can do business, and PSG already, they will know that. And on that very subject there, L'Équipe have come out with something this evening which I think is very significant. A big statement there from L'Équipe, who were the original source when it said that Neymar wanted to leave. That was L'Équipe who came out and said that. They say here that talks between Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain in the last few hours, in the last day or so, has really intensified. And the reason for that is Barcelona have offered, they say, two big players there in return for Neymar. And intriguingly, L'Équipe have said here, those two players being offered actually exceed the 222 million that Paris Saint-Germain paid to get Neymar in the first place. And that, for me, is very interesting indeed. Two players apparently put up there for exchange by Barcelona that L'Équipe say would exceed 222 million euros. And of course, the big question is, the massive question is, who are those players? Who are Barcelona willing to sacrifice, willing to exchange to get Neymar back this summer? We do want him back, but who are we willing to put aside, get rid of, to bring back the Brazilian? Because right now, for me, these are the 6 players who could be exchanged at any given time to Paris Saint-Germain this summer, because each of these players right here have at some point in the last month been linked to PSG. You've got Coutinho, you've got Dembele, Samuel Umtiti, Ivan Rakitic, Nelson Semedo, and Malcolm. Those are the 6 there that could be exchanged for Neymar. Not all together, of course, certainly not all together, but I just mean those are the players there who've been linked to PSG who could be used at some point in this deal. But the question is, who is it going to be, and is it gonna be enough? And so that there, guys, is my thoughts on the Neymar situation right now, and most importantly, the big developing stories that have come out today from UOL, from L'Équipe, some big stories there breaking from Brazil, and also from France. He's returned to training, Neymar back in Paris right now, but he is far from happy. And the big question is now, how does this deal develop? How does this deal move forward? Will Barcelona exchange some players? Is that going to be true there? What players are being exchanged? And of course, are Paris Saint-Germain going to be happy with that kind of deal? Are they going going to go ahead with that? Do they really want here to just get rid of Neymar? Are they going to be happy to just move him on? We are going to find out more for sure in the coming days, as this one, it continues to roll on. Thank you as always, guys, for joining me. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate your support. Please leave your thoughts in the comments down below on the current Neymar situation. What are you feeling right now? What do you feel deep inside? Do you want Neymar? Do you not? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, any updates at all, I'll be back with you guys. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.